it had to hit twice. This is gonna die, so you can do it here. I had to move this. No, I actually had to keep it there. Interesting. It's gonna go down to 5. He has one more Lava Slosher. Canter. You'll leave it up. Mage Sworn? Uh-oh. Very interesting. Huh. I'd somehow get enough damage on him. It's just not actually gonna happen. My opponent still has a deck, might be a problem. Yeah, I know. The problem is I had to kill him with my face. If he actually just controls the board, I can't do anything.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Duelyst deck tech video, as usual. Today we have something that is very, very, very spicy for you. But before we get into that, I just want to say I've heard from multiple sources and experienced it myself that the ladder is now completely overrun with Ragra decks. You know, the top of S rank, there's a guy I've never heard of who's like S number 1 or S number 2 right now playing it, and he keeps beating everyone. And apparently down in gold and diamond, it's all anyone's playing. So thank you all for watching the videos, and we're changing the meta one step at a time, that's for sure. Yeah, so this is another, I'm not going to call it meta changing, but people will say this is a meme deck, and I will tell you this is very much not a meme deck. This is what I played into the S-Rank Top 50 last season. Yeah, this was basically what I used before I picked up Ragra, and it's got a lot of good matchups. It's so silly. So you probably read the title and you saw Magmar. So this is it, guys. This is a viable finally a viable Mill Starhorn deck, and I'm honestly so excited about it. You know, people joke forever, oh, haha, Starhorn's the Mill General, delete your enemy's deck. We're going to play Mind Steal and take cards out of their deck. No. You don't have to do that anymore. This deck is a combo deck, and what the combo is designed to do is just to delete your opponent's entire deck in one swing. So how it works is Manamavor reads whenever you summon a minion, burn 3 cards of your opponent's deck. And Apex you use to plonk down Manamavor and a bunch of other minions. So if you Apex and you put out a Manamavor and 4 other minions, you'll burn 3 times 4 is 12 cards. If another one of those minions is a second Manamavor, you'll burn 24 cards, which is usually enough to empty their deck by that point in the game. So that's one way to do it. The other way is using a very, very curious card that hasn't seen much play, but totally should, and that's Risen. So you Apex out Manamavor plus Risen, and then when Risen comes into the battlefield, it'll see every minion that your opponent summons thanks to the Apex. So if they have a hand of 5 minions, Risen will then summon 5x, and suddenly you've got enough minions to completely delete their deck as well. So that's going to be the combo, and let me tell you, does it work? It works. It's so funny when you pull out this combo. They've got stuff on the board, you've got stuff on the board, it kind of trades, whatever. They can probably deal with the stuff you Apex out, but then they just literally don't have any cards left in the deck. So whatever they have on the board and in their hand is all they have to work with for the rest of the game. And then meanwhile, you're going to be plonking down Macantors, EMPs, Bone Reapers, Kragons, Lava Slashers, and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it once you've used up the last of their cards. So it's so funny. When you get it to work, it just makes me happy. Other than that, we have some generic good Apex stuff. The early game, you're going to be looking for the Golem package to carry you through. I went with the Golem package in the end just because it does have some good synergies with ramping out Lava Slashers, ramping out Rage Binders. That's going to give you powerful stuff to do in the early game. Yeah, basically they're just individual good early game cards because you're going to be wanting to save an Apex in your hand. You're going to be wanting to save a Manamavor in your hand. So when you're sandbagging these cards, you're only going to have 3 or 4 cards with which to actually play the game. So you want each individual card to have a really high impact. Since most of the time you'll just be playing 1 card a turn, you want it to be a strong standalone card that's like good for many, many different situations. So that's basically what Lava Slasher is, and we definitely rely on Lava Slasher a lot. It holds the deck together, and Rage Binder as well. It's just a strong, sticky minion that will keep your opponent busy, and the heal can be very, very relevant. Now, Azure Herald as well, we're trying to get to the late game. We don't, on 6 mana, if you play an Azure Herald, and that's the difference between living and dying, and the next turn you Apex them, then, maybe the Azure Herald saves you the game. Blood Tears in there, there's so much Ragnar going around. We need a way to clear eggs, and Blood Tear is just that. It also lets us empty our hand because we are running Starhorn for draw and Spelljammer for draw. We're running both of these just to make sure we can find our combo pieces on time. But that does mean, we'll be filling up our hand, and if we're only playing 1 card a turn, we're going to overdraw and not see the cards. So Blood Tear's also there to help us just burn through cards faster. Yeah, Macantor, no-brainer. It's good with Apex as well. And then the last 3 cards, well, other than Kragon's pretty straightforward. You Apex him out, and he makes your Apex a lot better because you'll probably win the game the next turn or the turn after that if they don't answer him or if they don't kill you. For the last 6 cards, I was initially running, Saberspine Alpha, an Elucidator, and these kind of rush minions. So when we Apex them, the idea is the rush minions then go and kill whatever the opponent Apexed out, and we're back on board parity. In practice, it wasn't really working so well. you know, they'd spawn in the back line, or a different Apex minion would block the spot where you need your rush minion to go to kill, and they just weren't being very effective in general. And I'm very happy with what I've done here, which is just to swap them out for these huge late game bombs, a bit more specialized utility minions, good for certain matchups. So Bone Reaper obviously great against Swarm, great against eggs, that kind of thing, great against aggro. Mage Swarm is going to shut down a number of archetypes where you wouldn't usually have game against them, say like Burn Fey, and EMP as well. It's the same thing. It's going to shut down archetypes where you usually wouldn't have much game against them. And of course, they're all fantastic to Apex out. Right. Also, the hidden superstar of the deck, really, for me, and a card that I feel like no one's really experimented much with, but they totally should, is Risen. So Risen has typically never seen play because it's a 4-mana 3/2, and they die. But the thing is, if your opponent doesn't have an answer for Risen, or they choose not to answer him for whatever reason, say for instance, you play him going into a Wanderer player's 6-mana turn, they're going to say, this guy just played a 4-mana 3/2, that gives me absolutely free reign to just play my Wanderer. And people, I've won so many games that way, with people just ignoring Risen for one turn. Because if you get one egg, suddenly you have 2 Risens. And then there's, short of AoE, there's very little an opponent can do against 2 Risens. You know, if you, say, Bloodiver one of them, then you'll spawn an egg from the other one, and that, you'll still have Risens going on. Yeah, like if you use something like a Lightbender to dispel one, guess what? The other one's still gonna spawn eggs. So as soon as they give you one proc, this guy's gonna take over the game, and he takes over the game so fast. If your opponent, if say you have a turn with 3 Risens, they can't answer them, so they just play normally. Suddenly, the whole field is instantly filled with Risen eggs, and that's game over. But okay, so usually people will answer him though. He's a 4-mana 3/2. People are going to answer him. But the reason he's good is just because what he does to very specific matchups. So the first one, and the obvious one, is against obelisks. You play him, the obelisk summons a Wind Dervish, instant egg, and guess what? They can't answer him, because you've got, they'll answer the one, and then the egg will hatch, and still going to take over the game. That's an obvious one, not very relevant. Less obvious one, Zorzal. So say they play a Gore or a Sarlacc, and then what you can do is play a Risen and then punch the Sarlacc, and the Sarlacc will respawn, you'll get an egg. If you have another minion, you can punch it again and get another egg. Maybe play a Blood Tear, get another egg, and then on the start of their turn, the Gore will suicide, you'll get another egg, and you can take over the board way quicker than they can. It doesn't even matter if they complete their trial when the board is just full of Risen. It single-handedly wins that matchup for free. Other matchups where it's good is actually against Vet, I've found. So if you play it on 4 mana when the Vitruvian's going into 4 mana, and you play around Bone Swarm, there is not a single card in the Vet deck that they can use to deal with it. So what ends up happening is they will skip their 4 mana turn and play no minions because they don't want it to snowball out of control. And then on their 5 mana turn, they'll skip it as well because they have to Blood Over the Risen. And that just buys you so much time. It's absolutely awesome. Another matchup that I really like it in is Titan, because Titan typically doesn't have answers for backline threats. If they, the best they can do is chain a minion and Lightbender, but even then you're still getting eggs. Yeah, the only thing is if it's the variant of Titan playing Sunbreaker, then obviously the Sunbreaker is just going to clear up the Risen and all the eggs. But if they're not playing Sunriser or Sunbreaker, this guy will carry the game against Titan as well. He finds use in a lot more situations than you think as a 4-drop. But of course, he's just mainly in there for the Manamavore combo, but, we'll frequently play him as a minion. question you might ask, why are we not running any spells? And I just really like the consistency of always having 5 minions on your Apex turn, because usually you will need all 5 minions in order to fully mill the opponent. And if you, say replace a Azure Herald and you get, I don't know, like a Rebuke or a Greater Fortitude or some other random spell that you decided to run, and then suddenly you can't Apex that turn because you'll only summon 4 minions and you won't mill them. One thing I totally forgot to mention is how Apex interacts with Trials, which is absolutely hilarious. And this actually gives us a huge edge in a number of different random matchups. So what I'm talking about is if your opponent is playing a trial and they've completed the requirements of their trial, so either they're playing a Wanderer deck or you time it so that they finish Strategist or they finish Zorzal, but they haven't played the actual trial minion yet. Yeah, it also works against Nose if you're having trouble with that. What you can do is, in the timing between them finishing the trial and them playing the quest minion, you cast Apex and it'll actually pull the trial minion out of their hand like any other minion, but it won't proc the destiny. So, so you just wait for your, your strategist playing friend to go to all this work, finishing his quest. You wait the turn he drops Jax, then you Apex. Doesn't matter what else you have, but it'll pull the strategist out of his hand, and he won't get the destiny, and then he's just left with a really bad deck. And it's hilarious. It's so good when you get it off. Yeah, like any of the slower trials, this is great against, because even like Neemton and Hate Furnace, like basically any of the slower trials, they'll finish it, and then you'll have a 1-turn window just to play Apex and ruin their hopes and dreams. You can also pull this off against a Wanderer, not consistently, but sometimes, if you're able to put them in a position where they feel like they can't play Wanderer on 6. So, often I like to just Mercantor their face and clear their board, so they don't want to take another 4 from the Mercantor, they have to play something to answer Mercantor. Or, you can drop Bone Reaper, or Risen is fantastic for this, because, like I say, they have to answer Risen. You have to answer Risen. If you can hold them off Wanderer for 1 turn, and then you can Apex it out the next turn, and just deny them the Wanderer buff. That's just a nice, cute little trick that lets you win a bunch of random matchups. Okay, so I've talked a lot about this deck, and you're all probably ready to see it in action, so let me hop on over into some games. Alright, here we are in a game against an Abyssian player. It's going to be interesting. We have the Apex, we're going to hold that, of course. Tempted to keep Risen, because if they start swarming, this is going to force a removal. But it is going to feel super bad against a Whip. We'll keep it anyway. And Blood Tear is great. Okay, it's Mithron. So, I think they only have 1 Whip as an answer to this in their deck. So we will just jam that out. Okay. I'm actually going to play this aggressively. We can try and get a Lava Slasher out next turn. Very unlikely, but he can't hit with both of these, so it's unlikely he clears the egg. This is not something I usually do, but I think in this situation it's correct. Yeah, so a lot of you might be asking why I'll be running Starhorn when we're mostly playing 1 card on curve, and the answer to that is just how crucial I think it is to have a full card of 6 hand, a full hand of 6 cards on your Apex turn, because the mill combo isn't going to work with any less than 6. And if you're having to rely on drawing a Spelljammer or drawing a draw card before that time, then that's not very good. We can just use Starhorn. Okay. Okay. So, we're gonna show off Risen right here, right now. I think we can drop the Rage Binder at this point. And I am gonna Blood Tear just to deny the mana. Blood Tear. Face, I guess. We may as well just Blood Tear the minion. And okay. All the way back here, we'll play him in this corner to prevent any reach with Dispel or stuff. And the egg back here, so the Rocky can't reach it. And him summoning the Tomb Spawn should get us another egg. And let's see how he can answer this. Alright. I think I might actually ditch the EMP here, just because Kragon out of Apex is great, and we're not going to want to dispel our Risens. We have Lava Slasher for next turn. He'll probably play something that dies to Lava Slasher. Most likely we'll have a Risen up still. Gonna make his play super awkward. There's an argument for playing him somewhere else, like here, and getting potential for more eggs. That said, I think this is probably still better. Just plays around Lightbender. Alright. Okay, do we get another egg here? Yes! Interactions. Let's go. Alright. We want to do this in such a way that maximum Risen survive. That might involve leaving up Furiosa. I think so. Okay, so this guy's coming here because we want to spread them out for Lightbender. Trade, Lava Slasher here. And I guess we'll punch the Tombstone with one of them. It doesn't open it up to die to anything else. Okay. Alright, come on Arisen, take over this game for us. And there's our Mnemivore, and we have Arisen on board. So when we hit 7, his deck's empty. Assuming we can stick a Risen, it won't matter that we only have 5 cards in hand, I think. Poor guy. If he Lightbenders, I don't think there's anything we could have done. We just have to trust in Duelyst interactions that will get eggs. Okay, there it is. Paragon. Damn. Okay. Maybe we could have body blocked here with the slasher. That was probably definitely what I was supposed to do. Okay. Shit happens. Yep. Macantor's great. We'll kill this, so it can't hit us in the face. With Wanderer up, I mean, because he's playing Wanderer this turn for sure. We get to see 4 cards. Oh, I think 3 cards actually. Looking for either another Manamavor or a Risen. I anticipate this being Macantor to clear the Wanderer and the Rocky. The 3/3 Wraithlings are gonna be a problem real quick. And looking back, I definitely could have done things differently down here. To either still have the Risen up or to have just given up on the Risens and cleared this guy. So I think we're not playing the best, but okay. Yep. Okay. Good positioning. That's pretty clutch, actually. I think I am going to go with the Mage Swan just because it shuts down all of his Wraithlings. We'll hold Macantor for the event that he does get Wraithlings. And we'll start backing off again with our General. Okay, we actually don't want to let him face tank there. Okay, so this shuts off his Wraithlings, which is super important. If he wants to ritual, he has to give up his Furiosa, which we're fine with. Okay, and we do have Apex up, but I think I'm still going to stick with the game plan of looking for another mill combo piece to mill him. We also need to get out of the corner. The MP? No, I don't know. I don't know how he answers that Mage Swan. Okay. Face. Purgatos. Oof. Ugh. Oh, he's backing off. That makes me so happy. Okay. Can we do it this turn? If we trade, we can have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait, hang on. Trade. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open spots. Then the Wanderer kills us. Okay, we'll hold off 1 turn. Because we do have a pretty good clear here. Can we clear the whole board? I think so. Oh, not like this. Okay, we messed up. Maybe we go for this guy. It's gonna be close. He'll have one card in his deck after we mill 24. Okay. That is pretty fine. Oh! Okay. We're gonna keep this just to make sure we don't replace into a second Apex. These two trade down here. Or even just, hang on, how many squares do we need? 5. How many do we have? Currently 4. I guess we can come here. None of his stuff can actually reach us. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And he has an empty deck. And one card left in hand. We can't Bloodborne spell. No point moving this forward. Oh, maybe there is. Maybe we die to Betrayal. That's possible. Maybe his last card is Betrayal. As long as his last card isn't Betrayal, I don't see how we lose this, to be honest. Worth noting, yeah, no, you can't do that, buddy. Worth noting we've shut off Kron, because you can't replace when you have no cards in your deck. And Kragon's just going to walk forward, heal us for 7. And game should be over pretty quick. Also, I'm pretty sure you have to watch all the milling animations as well. So it ropes like half your turn. Yeah, so I'm just going to play around with Betrayal. Well, I guess there's no point now. We would be dead if he had it. I wonder what his last spell is. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Just going to come back here in case we get dispelled. Move forward with everything. Except Mage Swan, I guess. Jam that guy there, I guess. We're definitely giving him some good trades, but at this point it really doesn't matter. And yeah, he knows there's no way out. There's like literally no cards in his deck, so he has actually no way to answer a Kragon. Alright, we'll give it one more game, just because it's so funny. Another hilarious thing about this deck is after you delete their deck, your Bloodborne spell also has like a Warbird effect, where every time you Bloodborne spell it mills them and they take 2. So it's completely irrelevant, because you've almost definitely won by the time you delete their deck and don't die the same turn. But like, it's just so funny when you're Starhorn and you're just running away warbirding people. Alright, here we are. We're up against a Zoran. I think this is a fine matchup as long as we don't get Zorand. Risen is obviously pretty terrible against the Tempest faction. Yeah, I think having Macantor on 6 is actually going to be more important than anything Risen can do for us. Pretty terrible top decks. We're looking for a Golem here. Oh, it gets worse and worse. So yeah, this is the downside of having half your deck be huge late game bombs, is you need to find your early game minions early. I'm actually going to replace Mage Swarm. It just really doesn't do anything. Well, maybe it's worth keeping over Kragon. I don't know. Just for the body. We'll replace Kragon. Okay, sure. Anyway, super suspect turn 1 there. That. Okay, I accept. There's a chance we just ramp into 6 next turn. Okay, that's a nice pickup. Okay, no, he can just block us with a minion. So we'll just replace into Lava Slasher. Okay. Lucent Beam? Sure. He's using all these resources doing a whole lot of nothing. Can't be too mad about that. So we'll just replace into Lava Slasher. Sadly, we don't have that up anymore. Do I try and save a mana tile? That's the question. And I think not. Like, Lava Slasher on 5 is fine. We'll not play our Rage Binder next to the mana tile in case he has... You know, in case he has like a Sunrise to put on there. I'm sure there's some Zoran thing he can do to clear that. Yeah. We don't mind not threatening the mana, he's just going to take it anyway. And we'll Bloodborne spell. We need to find these combo pieces. Okay. We have a full hand, we're going to be playing 1 card a turn, so we can replace Jammer pretty freely. No point fueling him. Yeah. Lava Slasher into Macantor is going to be pretty decent against Zoran since all that stuff has 4 health. Yeah, he's just going to go face. That's fine. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We're down to 18. Down to 18 with a clear board with some minions on it. That's fine, yeah. Play around to Liamo, of course. As much as we can. Okay, we have enough of a board that I'm not too worried about him clearing the board and dealing a ton of face damage. Yeah, I think replace Mage Sworn here. Blood Tear could be relevant. Mage Sworn is unlikely to be relevant. That said, it does shut off some of his combos. But I think we're almost always gonna rather play. Well, unless he gives us a free turn like that. Whoa! Whoa, dude! What? What? Okay. I don't want to draw you cards anymore, really. Do I care about leaving you that mana? I think I'd rather run away. This is a tough turn. We want this to live. See if we won't put it next to the mana tile. And I am just going to deny the mana for the sake of it. Maybe a misplay. Who knows? Maybe I should have backed off there. Okay, my hand's looking good. We just need to find a Mnemivore and either a Mnemivore or a Risen. We might have won by then. I don't know. I'm always reluctant to push face damage with this deck, with the golems. Because you definitely can. You can definitely just do Magmar things and kill them. I do just prefer winning with the combo though, so that's why I usually don't do that. Okay. Oh my god, yeah, that's fine. Oh, and he's moving out of position too for that? Sure. Okay. We gotta replace something. Okay, sure. So we're gonna play these two. Just search for what we need. I do want to play around a claim again. Even though this is completely pointless. Yeah. This feels fine. Just get the healing. Okay, perfect. Man, that's a dumb hand. I don't want 3 Mechantors. We're not going to kill him with Mechantor damage. We're going to kill him by deleting his deck. That's fine. Tempest will be rough here, I think. Oh, and he's not even getting closer. Poor guy. Is this a Mechantor or a Slasher? Who even knows? I guess I'll Mechantor. Push that guy closer, so we don't get blown out by Tempest as much. Okay. We all know what we're looking for here. Sure. Sure. We're gonna want minions that answer his minions, so I'll just drop Mage Swarm. Okay, I will Bloodborne spell because we really want to find the extra combo piece here. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Where does this want to go? This wants to stop him getting closer, if possible. Okay, what are we worried about now? Hero? Sure. Just loosened us? For 2? Hello? Hello? What? Okay, I'm pretty sure there's no way we get screwed out of not Macantering his Scintilla here. And this is enough mill to delete his deck, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And burn him for 2. And look for something big, that'll do. Okay. And play around Claim, I guess, as much as we can. And yeah, there we go. He knows he can't win without a deck. Yeah. See, oh, it's awesome. You just do Magmar things until, you know, they're like, I'm going even versus Magmar. I'm in the late game versus Magmar. You know, I'm still at 25 health against Burn Starhorn. This is wonderful. And then suddenly Apex, and oh, suddenly, like, my deck has no cards in it. And they're just, like, looking at the Scintilla and Sunriser that are, like, hilariously out of position on the board. And then they're looking at the, like, 3 spells that they have to work with to win the game. And they're like, I don't think I can win this anymore. I don't know. The deck's pretty consistent, to be honest. To be completely honest. It's like... Hang on, let's have a look at it again. Yeah. It does what it does, and it does it pretty consistently. And for the most part, your like normal Magmar stuff is going to be good enough to stop them tempoing you out in the early game. And, you know, most of the time you'll make it to Apex. The turns where the games you lose tend to be where, you know, you have to Apex on 10 and then for some reason they have like 2 EMPs in their hands and they get the perfect spawn and then they just hit you with the EMPs and, you know, that does happen sometimes, but it's pretty consistent and you can do a lot of silly things. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I want to be hearing on Discord and in the comments that, you know, Mill Magmar is running rampant all over gold, you know. People keep running into Mill Magmar and Diamond and they hate it so much. That's what I want to hear, so you guys get out there, craft your 10 million spirit deck with a bunch of Spelljammers and Kraagons and Mnemivores and Apexes. Get out there, craft these cards, and have some fun on the ladder. That's what I say. It's going to be it for me, guys. See you later. Oh, hang on a minute. And if you like the video, make sure to actually like the video and subscribe to the channel.